Hi guys, this is Dr. Bhupesh from Dr. BKM Institutes and welcome to this reading session. We cannot record all the reading for you, but there are few questions I can record to teach you something. If you are not part of Dr. BKM Institutes, for all our YouTube followers, please subscribe our channel if you have not. So the question says the main point of the paragraph is that these kind of questions do come in OET. And in these questions, what will happen? All the options can be correct, all the options can be correct, but what you have to find is not the right point. You have to find the main point. That is why these questions are very tricky, because in the normal questions of OET we use elimination method, that A is not my answer, B is not my answer, so C is my answer, or A is my not my answer, C is not my answer, that means B is my answer because the other two options are wrong. But in the questions like these, when we talk about the main point, when we talk about the purpose of the paragraph, they deliberately means knowingly give you the right options, two or three right options, but you have to find the main right option. So I'm just going to read this paragraph and will concentrate upon the paragraph. The technique to do these kind of question is to read the paragraph once but nicely. So I'm just going to read it once but nicely, then you can understand. Surveys of the adolescents in the United States over the past 30 years have consistently shown that almost all the adolescents who had tried cocaine and heroin had first used alcohol, tobacco, and cannabis in that order. That regular cannabis users are most likely to use heroin and cocaine. So, out of the information until now, what I can consider is the main point, that if you are having heroin, if you are having a heroin and cocaine, no, that regular cannabis user, sorry. So most of the regular cannabis users will use heroin and cocaine. So that is the main point that I have learned over here, that if you are taking cannabis, then it is likely that people will take heroin and cocaine. And the earlier the age of the first cannabis use, the more likely a young person is to use other illicit drugs. So common word I am finding again is young person, adolescent. So this is also an important word. If I have to make the main summary or the heading of this paragraph, main point means heading. So if I have to make the heading of the paragraph, I would say adolescents who use cannabis are likely to use heroin and cocaine. So until now, my main point is youngsters or the adolescents using cannabis will use heroin and cocaine. One explanation for this pattern is that now the main point has changed, because now one explanation means they are giving the reasons. So the topic which earlier was of adolescents taking cannabis and cocaine and using cannabis earlier, so they were trying to show the link between the cannabis and heroin and cocaine. But now the main topic has shifted because they are giving the reason. So one reason for this pattern is that cannabis users obtain the drug from the same black market as other illicit drugs, thereby providing more opportunities to use this drug. Now, this seems like the main paragraph momentum is saying that cannabis people will take heroin and cocaine, and the reason is they are coming from the same market. So now the overall heading becomes this. Let me check it out what seems like a better answer. Alcohol, tobacco, and cannabis can lead to use of heroin, cocaine. Yes, it's all good, but if I take this as my answer, then it is fulfilling only this line. That's it. So it is not covering my rest of the things, like are most likely, earlier the age, reason. It's not getting covered. So it is covering only one line. So this should not be my answer if I look at the overall paragraph. It is correct, 100% correct, but it is not my answer because they have asked me for the main point. Most adolescents, this is a very key word for me, who have used cocaine or heroin, first try alcohol, followed by tobacco and cannabis. This seems like a very good answer, very good answer. And there is a clear link between habitual cannabis use and use of heroin. This should be my answer if I consider this as my primary point, that there is a clear link, that why cannabis users will use heroin. Why would they use it? Because that is coming from the same market. So that means it is about networking. Once you know bad people will make you more bad, will make you worse. So that is the main point this explanation wants to cover. So in paper, it can be a very difficult question. I might reach to B, I might reach to C, can be completely confused. But questions like these, or questions like headings, question like purpose, last line is very important, because that is where the conclusion of the paragraph happens, that there is a clear link. Why? Habitual cannabis users will go for heroin and cocaine, because that is coming from the same market. So that is why these questions become little different. But even if they do B as an answer, I will not be surprised. But considering the last line as the most important line of these kind of questions, it should be C, according to me. So can you please help me with the answer as well? It can be B or C, but again, the what I've learned from OET, C should be the answer. But B, if they give as an answer, is not a bad point.
The C is the answer.
So, so see,
So C.
that is what we need to learn in purpose questions, in main point questions of these things. When it comes to summary, then last line plays a very crucially, because that changes the momentum of the whole paragraph. So the topic was about adolescents indulging into cocaine and heroin because they are using this cannabis. But why they are getting indulged? Because they are giving as a point of explanation that they are taking it because they know these people, and that is coming from the same market. So the main thing was the reason behind why it is happening. So they were trying to show clear link that if they will take this, they will take this because there is a clear link, that is the common market. So that is how you need to resolve these indirect purpose questions, or kind of the questions. These are tricky questions, so please go through this video 2 or 3 times to sink it into your subconscious. That last line will play a very important role, and take it to your subconscious to do these questions in the final exam as well. Thank you. So I'm just going to stop the recording, and then we'll jump on to the next of the questions. I will make the small recording so that you can listen to it again and do not get bored. Thank you.